everyone, welcome back to another show of Book Academy. Today we have a very special guest here with us. Make some noise for Crystal Metheny!
Hello, everyone.
She's a drug dealer, not the most ethical job, but she keeps it very legal though.
Anita, I'm not a drug dealer. I've told you 100 times that I'm a cannabis editor.
Yeah, because that's literally not the same thing I just said. Well, moving on with the show, in today's episode we're going to talk about something that I normally don't talk about on this platform, but it has become a really important topic, and that is the dark side of social media.
Ooh, creepy. I like it. But for real, I really like this topic. I think it's really important to educate everyone around us, including ourselves, about the dangers of social media because we spend the whole day browsing through it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. In fact, the other day I was browsing through Netflix and I found this new movie. I think it was a documentary though. It told the story of a notorious conman who allegedly used the Tinder dating app to live a life of luxury while defrauding women across Europe.
Yeah, I've seen it. The conman is called Shaiman Hayut. Apparently, he followed a pattern. He will match with women on Tinder, take her on a costly and impressive first date, and slowly build their relationship while flying around the world and secretly dating other women.
Unbelievable. I read that he stole around $10 million. This guy is just impossible. You know, he would evade repayment by cajoling, threatening, and otherwise stalling his victims.
As women, we have to be really careful with who we talk on social media, especially on dating apps, because you never know who is behind the screen. That person could be who he actually says he is, or he could be a catfish trying to scam you or maybe even kidnap you.
This is just one of a million examples of scams on social media, and this happens daily around the world, but we never hear about the victims. And yet, as you said earlier, abduction is the biggest danger there is online, after getting possibly killed. In fact, I remember a few years ago, I saw a really traumatizing documentary about this girl called Megan.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard about it. Is it called Megan is Missing?
Yeah, that's the one.
The movie centers on Megan Stewart, a 14-year-old who's been the victim of sexual assault in the past and goes missing after talking to someone who was posing as a teenage boy online, but in reality he was like 30-something. Really creepy. Her 13-year-old friend Amy is also kidnapped by the same person after talking with him online in an effort to find Megan.
Then it gets worse. This psycho tortures them, assaults them, and eventually kills them both in a really horrible way. In fact, the movie is very disturbing because it shows a lot of gruesome image of all the things he did to them. Although most people think that it's based on a real-life story, in reality, it is based on a series of real-life cases of child abduction.
The film raises awareness about the importance of online safety for children. As they grew up in the digital age, today's kids have been exposed to social media since a really young age, so we tend to neglect them and forget that they are just children navigating the media.
Yes, and sadly, there are always pedophiles lurking around to take advantage of their innocence because children are unprogrammed to see the bad in people, unlike grown-ups.
Oh, do you remember the hacker of 2020, the one that dropped a video threatening to expose the government's darkest secrets?
Oh, yeah. There is a hacker group called Anonymous, which is an internet-based socialist community movement that looks for answers to questions that are unanswered. They were MIA for 4 years until they released a video on Facebook on May 2020 in the wake of protests across the U.S. following the murder of George Floyd. Also, they sent the same video to the Minneapolis Police Department in which they said that they were going to seek revenge on the Minneapolis Police Department and expose their crimes to the world.
I remember that it was fire. The group did not just threaten to expose the crimes of the Minneapolis Police Department, but also produce evidence regarding Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, and Princess Diana's death. One of the shocking revelations by Anonymous is that Princess Diana's death was in fact a murder planned and executed by the British royal family. Spooky. But Anonymous claimed that the car accident was staged.
Yeah, I don't see them as dangerous people. I consider them as avengers of the truth or truth seekers. To me, they are like modern-day Robin Hoods. You see, the basic mistake that everyone makes is having all your personal important information downloaded in the cloud. the latter being part of the internet. This is the biggest threat of all because literally anyone can hack it.
Oh shoot, I lost track of time. I gotta run. I have a meeting in like 15 minutes. Thank you so much for having me on your show, Anita. I had a great time.
Thank you for your time. We should do this again. Well, this is all for today. I know this was a lot of information to take in, but I hope it was actually useful to some of you. Bye. See you soon on tomorrow's episode.